So while I think Scopper is going to do his thing, he's going to be able to give the God's Knights a good fight. He's also an old man, so the stamina issue is going to come up. And with the Straw Hats in the situation that they're in, being captured, I think Nami is going to strike a deal and ask the God's Knights to take them as tribute instead of taking the kids, which will temporarily free Elbalf for the time being until Luffy and the others can find out what happens and take action. Now, I just want to remind you guys that this theory came out prior to chapter 1149 dropping. So what I think is going to happen with the kids is that the kids are going to fall off the cliff. They are going to send them off the cliff because the Elbalf giants aren't going to comply with burning the library in time. So the kids are all going to reasonably land on Loki's big fat stomach and be totally fine, because you got to remember, this is One Piece, so they don't be killing kids like that unless their name is Sabo. And even then, he didn't really kill Sabo. He came back later in the story. So after they run out of kids, they're going to take Nami up on her offer, and they are going to get in contact with Shamrock. They're going to ask him if they can take the Straw Hat crew. And what's going to happen is they're going to reason, well, we got to come back with something. And taking 70% of an Emperor's crew is not nothing. And if we think about it, the God's Knights, they're not going to want to keep dealing with Scopper Gaban, and they want to get out of Elbalf way before Luffy and the Monster Trio find out what's going on. Shamrock is going to think about it, and he's going to say, well, in the grand scheme of things, I know that we have to deal with Nika at some point, and if we can take most of his crew away from him, then that'll make it so much easier for us to topple him later down the road. And if you really think about it, maybe even Shamrock is aware of who Imu is, and he may know that Imu wants to get Nika and his whole crew off the game board, really knocking off the most important chess piece that could stand in the way of Imu's dastardly plan. And of course, that's going to make Imu very happy, because if they can manage to squash the Monster Trio, that's basically 2 problems solved with 1 stone. So they're going to take the Straw Hats, and they're going to also take Bonnie as well, because Bonnie is going to get up here and fight, and she's going to show off her Sun God Nika transformation, but and Guko is going to see that and get very afraid, but she's going to run out of steam, and when she runs out of steam, she's going to get tied up as well and be taken along with the Straw Hats, and she's going to be delivered to Marijua while the rest of the Straw Hats are brought to Impel Down, which I think is going to end up in a training arc, because when we look at the Straw Hats, they need something more. They're not as powerful as they should be. And when it comes to Jinbei being on the boat, I think he's going to somehow escape and swim back to the island to let Luffy and the others know that the rest of the crew is taken.